Elon Musk was also a central part of many of the biggest stories in Silicon Valley this year. In many ways, Tesla's automotives business took a bit of a back seat to other grand ambitions that Elon has pursued. My colleague Theo Wayt has a column out this week looking at the broader goals that Elon has set for his businesses this year and how they shaped up. I want to bring on Theo to talk all about that. Theo, welcome back to the show. It's great to have you here.
Good to be here.
So, very quickly, did you see the XAI Christmas lights in Memphis over the holidays?
I haven't made it over there yet, but I think they're still running. So
Okay.
it might be,
All right.
maybe after this.
Well, I encourage everyone to check out our episode that we taped on Christmas Eve for more context on that. Let's talk about Tesla's automotives business. So they've got the fourth quarter delivery figures coming out this Friday. What should we expect?
They're probably going to be significantly lower than the third quarter, which is because there was a federal tax credit for EVs that expired at the end of the third quarter. So a lot of people that were thinking about, maybe buying a Tesla around Thanksgiving or Christmas bought it early. And then when you add that fourth quarter to the rest of the figures for the year, it's almost certainly going to show that 2025 was a worse year than 2024 for sales, and 2024 was already a worse year than 2023. So not great.
Okay. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Elon's broader ambitions, but can you just explain to me, why does Tesla report these delivery figures at all? Why is it helpful for investors to have this when they have the automotive revenues every quarter anyway?
Investors like it because it's more up to date. Like they put out the delivery figures the first trading day after a quarter is over, so you can get a lot more up to date info immediately. Whereas earnings happen like a month or so after the quarter's over, and it's not unique to Tesla. Ford does something similar.
Got it. Well, I mean, I don't know. It seems like Tesla breaks with habit a lot of times. So
it's one of the only things that
Tesla does, in line with the rest of the automotive sector.
Exactly.
So now, if we look at Elon's year broadly, you wrote this piece in our Sunday Insights briefing about Elon's ambitions that he set for 2025 and the extent to which he actually lived up to those hopes and goals. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so he came up short on a lot of things with Tesla. They didn't come anywhere close to rolling out the robo-taxi in the way that Elon said they would. Over the summer, Elon had said that half of the US population would have access to robo-taxi in their area by the end of the year. Currently, they're just in 2 cities, and they have backup people in all the cars. And on self-driving and personal cars, that also hasn't progressed. He said you'd be able to fall asleep in your car and wake up at your destination, but that's not the case either. There's still a lot of supervision that's required. As far as Optimus, the humanoid robot program, we did a lot of reporting over the past few months on that and how that's significantly behind on production goals. But that being said, Tesla investors know that Elon embellishes, and they've, made peace with it seemingly. And probably Elon's biggest goal was getting his $1 trillion compensation package approved, which shareholders did by a large margin. So clearly it's not, a problem for a lot of people that own stock in the company.
Well, and that's what I was going to get at with you, is if you look at the stock chart, I mean, it was down a bunch in the first half of the year, and then it's come right back up. And I'm looking at it for the year, it's up 20% for the year as we tape this. And so that is a question that I have is, I mean, does it really matter what Elon says anymore? Has he basically won his fans that he thought he was going to, and the people who have left have gonna left? I mean, does it really matter what Elon says anymore in terms of goals?
I mean, I think, his defenders would say, even his most ardent defenders say, yeah, he promises things that don't actually happen sometimes. And, in their reading, that's just because he's a visionary and he's, willing to make these huge swings. And even if he comes up very short or years late, it'll still be pretty good. And, it's a lot of people do give him the benefit of the doubt and don't treat him like they would treat the CEO of any other, $1 trillion publicly traded company. Like, I used to
Right.
cover Amazon, and if Andy Jassy went on TV at the beginning of 2025 and made a lot of very specific promises, and Amazon missed basically all of the super specific promises he made, I think he'd be out of a job, or he, definitely wouldn't have gotten a $1 trillion compensation package approved from shareholders. Like there are just different standards for Elon, for better and for worse.
So going into 2026, where do you think Elon Musk is spending most of his time? We have the news of SpaceX looking to go public next year. We haven't heard too much about Neuralink recently, although I think they were raising some money this year as well. Where is his head at right now?
I mean, I think SpaceX is the natural answer. Like you said, there's the IPO, and NASA is, now under leadership of a guy that's, seen as an Elon ally and is pretty open to working with SpaceX a lot. He's also thinking of all kinds of ways to integrate SpaceX with XAI and Tesla, doing data centers in space and, that kind of thing. So that would be the natural answer, I think. But there's also a situation where he gets dragged back into politics this year, and it becomes a big distraction for him again, like it was, more so in the first half of 2025.
Do you think that happens?
Well, there's I'm not a political reporter really. Like I'm not in DC. I don't know this stuff as well as some other people, but there has been some, credible reporting showing that he's talking to JD Vance a lot and talking about making a lot of, donations in the midterms and that kind of thing. And I try to know his companies well and know people inside his company well, and I know there are a lot of people there that are not happy about that, and would much rather have him, staying focused on what he's in their view better at.
Great. Well, Theo, I want to thank you for coming on. That is Theo Wayt, our Elon Musk reporter here at The Information.